Hey booze, hey, do your blankets feel like super glue in the morning? Well sis, it's time to shake them off. Welcome to Wake Up Happy Sis, the show that jumpstarts your day with a bang. We're strolling down these self-care streets as we navigate the maze of wellness and healing. We're helping you live happy, healed, and whole. And we do it all with a hearty dose of belly laughs for good measure. Stay tuned and get ready to wake up happy, sis. Good morning, good morning, good morning. You are locked and loaded into another episode of Wake Up Happy Sis. And today we're switching gears a little bit and we're talking about something serious, something that may hit close to home for too many of us. We're talking about breaking the silence on domestic violence. A heavy topic? Absolutely. But essential? You better believe it. So, today it's all about you reclaiming your peace, your sanity, your space, and your power. So, let's get into it. First, hey, Sharonda.
Hey,
Why you
Leanne.
got them glasses on like you hungover?
You, as usual, killing my damn vibe, ma'am. But I'm going to make a sacrifice for the culture. I'm going to go ahead and peel back these damn onion layers because you
That's
just
right.
be doing what the hell you be doing, ma'am.
And that's
And
why we're
I'm just,
here.
yes, I'm going to go ahead and, damn, I ain't give my doggone tissue. Cause this one gonna be one of those, y'all. This gonna be one of those.
Look, sometimes that's what we need. Sometimes that's what we need in our life. We need to go ahead and speak on it. Do you see what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to speak on it, Sharonda.
Okay, so I'm just not even gonna go try to find no tissue, and I'm just gonna let the tears fall where they may because you today's topic is one of those. My mom passed in 2021,
Mm-hmm.
and I she is definitely dearly departed and stuff. But girl, I'm gonna have to dig up some damn demons because of what you always doing. Why you always in my shit, ma'am?
I mean, that's why you were brought here. So I could be all up in your shit. That's why we connected. So I could be all up in your shit because your shit helps someone else work through theirs. Right?
Because I love y'all, I'm gonna do it for y'all. I'm gonna do this for y'all. Okay.
That's all we asking. That's all we asking is just put it out there. That's all we're saying is go ahead and put it out there a little bit. Okay. Because every time we share, somebody else is being helped, right?
Absolutely.
Somebody's
I
going to
love
hear
y'all.
this story and feel like, you know what? I don't feel so alone, right? I'm not the only person that's gone through something. And you know what? She made it through. Maybe I could make it through too. We are here to uplift, to inspire, to motivate, to help somebody through some trauma. That's what we're here to do. That's it. There's no other reason why we're here today, Sharonda, but to be a servant and a helper.
This is true. And I want y'all to know that I'm only talking about my story. And if I should happen to step on your toes, still not sorry about it. I'm just not gonna be sorry about it because
Sorry, not sorry. Sorry,
I'm
not sorry. Sometimes toes get stepped on.
hmm hmm
Sometimes
we
you
we we
gotta.
getting into it today, y'all.
Oh
We
yes,
doing
yes.
this
And
today.
I like a couple little stats in life. I like to put some stats out there. So, according to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, 1 in 3 women have been victims of physical violence by an intimate partner within their lifetime. And I'm pretty sure when you toss just Black women in there, those numbers are probably even more staggering, right?
Yeah.
And it's not just physical abuse, emotional abuse, financial control, right? We're going to hit on couple of things, right? How do we recognize those signs? What's the difference between control, intimidation, and manipulation? I'm here to change it up for somebody today. I'm hoping somebody today has the courage to leave safely, of course. Safely, of course.
Oh, this is gonna be good. Lord have mercy, this is gonna be good.
Yes. Look,
Oh,
what we're here. That's what we're here to do. I'm here to help make it a better place. Okay. Another thing, before we really kick off and I get into all what I get into over here, let me hit you with another fact. 40% of Black women will experience domestic violence in their lifetime. And that's according to the Institute on Domestic Violence in the African American community. So, what we're not going to do is act like this is a them issue. It's an us issue. It affects all of us. And it's time that we get real about it. It's time that we stop hiding this stuff in the shadows and feeling guilt and feeling shame and feeling like it's our fault, right? So, we're here today to arm you with the knowledge, the resources, and the empowerment to not just recognize the signs, but maybe even to be a beacon to some other sister out there who's going through it and needs that light in the darkness.
okay. Today I'm going to be speaking from the lens or the viewpoint of a child seeing mom go through this. So women out there, if you can't see yourself safe of a situation, listen to me as if I was coming speaking to you as your child, because
Yeah.
this can get real different for you today, ma'am.
And I think it's so important to have that perspective because sometimes you think, I'm going to take this so that he doesn't hit my child. He doesn't. Baby, that child is experiencing and it's traumatizing. It's hurtful. It's scary.
Know this, ma'am.
Mm.
Children would much rather be from a broken home than live in one. Let me tell you something.
Ooh, where's my fan? I done
There
left my
you go,
fan
ma'am.
in the other room. I done left my fan in the other room.
I got you. I got you. I got you. Hear me
Mm.
when I tell you. Kids would much rather be from a broken home than live in one. Did y'all hear me? I'm sorry.
Fact.
Can, can you see me? Can you see me?
I can
Be
we can
from
see,
one.
get up in their face.
I'm talking to you, ma'am. I'm talking to y'all. They would much rather be from one than live in one.
Period. So, and I know
Oh,
in our community, oftentimes a lot of us were brought up, what happens in our home stays in our home. Keep our business in our house.
you know where that
This,
comes from?
yes, where's it come from?
It comes from that manipulation point that you talked about earlier about the
Mm,
emotional um, abuse that
yes.
your mate is subjecting you to, because the way a bitch ass man, we'll revisit that term later on in the show, this show, but a bitch ass man's perfect weapon is to separate you from people that would try to talk sense into you.
Hmm.
That's a manipulation
Oh
tactic.
yeah, it's a control tactic.
Yes, ma'am.
And so while we're talking about that, let's talk about control versus intimidation versus manipulation, right?
That's gonna be good.
So control is when they want to have a tight reign over what you do, who you see, what you say, how you move, what you are able to do. So I can and or cannot do these things without checking with my spouse, mate, whomever the abuser is. Now, intimidation can be through their words, their gestures, or even their mere presence, causing you to be fearful of doing something because they gonna get set off. I was at a conference and one of the speakers was talking about having to get ready to go in the house every day to see how father was going to be that day. You're on mute.
Because you never know what box they gonna jump out of.
Yeah. And then finally, we have manipulation, where this is where a lot of your narcissists come in. Okay. They make you doubt your perception of reality. You have an issue with them, you bring it to them, but all of a sudden, it somehow got turned around and it's all your fault. Why do you make me hit you? You know I love you. I would never do this, but you make me so angry. And soon it becomes, you know what? I just don't know why I keep egging at him and egging at him. I just make him so, and he's just so under a lot of pressure, and all of a sudden our reality is warped, and it's our fault that they can't control their emotions, that they can't control their actions. No, it ain't. It was never your fault. What you want to say? You feel like you got something on your heart?
Remember what I told you about that bitch ass man part?
Yes.
Well, it's later. So let's talk about what the true definition of a bitch ass man. And I feel, girl, I feel so strongly about a bitch ass man because a bitch ass man got all this bravado when they in front of their women and children, but let a uncle, let a brother, let a man, another man come in the midst, and the whole bravado and all of that. Straight up bitch. I mean, he instantly transforms into a bitch ass man right before your eyes. If you don't believe me, watch it next time. Because he got all of this mouth when he just talking to the women and the children. But when another man is in the midst, he would never take that doggone tone.
Well, because, but that's another reason why they assert that control, and that first level of control is it'll start with little things. I
Mhm.
don't think you should wear that. I think you should do this. We going to my mama's house. You can't dress like that. Make sure that you act this way, right? It starts with little things. But first, they're going to treat you so well and so good.
Oh yes.
They're going to treat you like they're going to be everything that you have asked for and prayed for. Because, because this goes back to when a person asks me what I want in a man, I do not tell them. I just say I'm looking for, I'll know it when I see it, right? Because if I tell you all the things and I tell you all my traumas and my fears, you can easily morph yourself temporarily into that man, because now you know what not to do, what not to say, but you also know my triggers, you know my fears. And the wrong person, that narcissist, that manipulator, that abuser, will eventually turn and use it against you. And they'll start with little things, and little things grow. And then they start isolating you from family,
Let's talk
from
about it. Let's talk
friends.
about it. Let pause, Leah. Let's talk about that part right there. My stepmonster. Hear me. My stepmonster was a gifted carpenter. I mean, built a built the house that we lived. And this was both their second marriages. My story is going to be out of order, but it's pertinent to what we're talking about. My stepmaster, in all of his, he just, I mean, it was just a shame that he was so gifted, but it was to a fault. So in this beautiful house that we lived in, there was no phone to be had, and this was back in the 80s. There were no cell phones. That we
Right.
lived up in the dog in Remus, up in Upper Michigan, where the snow drifts are taller than both of us standing on top of each other's shoulders. Do you hear me? Or the dirt road. There were no phones there because again, he could not have my mom speaking to anybody that was
Mm-hmm.
slightly contradictory to him and what he just doggone stood for. Now, we didn't know that he ran his first wife off by putting his hands on her. This
Mm.
this nigga was in the doggone front yard putting hands on his own son, going head to head. Now, if he would fight his own damn son, why wouldn't girl, as an adult
You
and what
already
you
know.
said, you already know. You already know. And so it was purpose by design. We did not have a phone to call my uncle. My mama was the only girl in five kids. Brothers on top,
Mm.
brothers on the bottom. They would have come in an instant if she ever would have sounded the alarm. Help. And Harry knew that.
Mm-hmm.
Stepmaster knew that, and he was a whole damn clown because he showed one face at the wedding to my family, but then after the wedding, he whisked us away, and all of the makeup came off, all the wig, all of the things came.
Mm-hmm.
And this damn clown revealed the monster that he was when he would get drunk because he would drink up all of the money. My mother was a nurse by trade. He refused for her to work. But we struggling, nigga. We struggling. My brother ate up everything, and I promise you his teeth had feet. That's what he used to say. Because he was growing out of every fucking thing. Girl.
Right, right.
Imagine me having to share socks with my brother. Oh, I didn't put there. Girl's a whole damn thing and stuff. But that's what bitch ass. I'm telling you, I cannot make. I am a whole lifetime story. I cannot make this shit up. This is my life. This is my life. And so when bitch ass men disguise themselves as what you want and stuff and all of the things that you felt secure enough to tell them in the beginning, they'll show you that in the beginning, but once he gets you off by yourself,
Mm-hmm.
then all of the makeup comes off and the whole clown is, he's barefaced, and the monster is revealed. That's what I know for a
And I
fact.
want to I want to go back to something you said in the midst of that
What?
was if she had just sounded the alarm. There's so much shame and guilt that people who are abused um, suffer under that sometimes they get so scared to tell anybody because they just feel ashamed that they should know better. They shouldn't be. And sometimes you scared because that man said, you tell anybody, I'll kill you and your whole family. Good morning, Jacqueline Levy. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in with us this morning.
Hey,
If
lady.
you're out there in the audience and you're listening in, make sure you say hey to us. We do
Exactly.
have, let me put the banner up. This is a drop-in show. And y'all don't even be dropping in on us like that.
See,
But
they be
y'all need
listening
to
to
come
us,
on
and then we
in.
find out after the fact that we changing lives out here and stuff. I
Right.
might be inclined to
I'm gonna
feel
leave that
better.
scrolling at the bottom. You can always join the live if you have a story, if you have something you want to share, to be a part of the show. This is a drop-in show. You're welcome to come in. But what I want to do is there's so much victim shaming that goes on that makes women fearful and not and feeling ashamed and feeling guilty that they won't tell, you won't speak out. But we have to break free from the shame and the guilt that's keeping us hostage, that is holding us hostage and keeping us captive.
Yeah, I would tell my son when he was younger, I can't help unless you tell me. I
That's
I
right.
want to be here to help you and support you and champion you every chance I get, but I don't know how to or when to if you're not talking to me. So people, please, and it could be men that are being abused too. Don't forget them too. So if
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Abuse is not gender specific.
not at all, not at all.
And
So
if you are being abused, you are not what you are going through. You are not what happened to you. That is not the sum total of who you are. That is just an experience, a horrible, tragic experience that you went through. It does not define who you are. You are not that person.
absolutely not. Think of that as a storm. What I mean, storms can be scary and they're loud and messy and destructive, but at the end, you got a rainbow. Leon, can you please put my
Let me put it up. Let me put it up there. Let me pop it up there.
your rainbow
This is
can
what you
be
get
see, you see that rainbow right there? That
right there.
that right there. That's and it was storming this morning, and that's what happened. This is where I am currently. That rainbow came after oh, yeah, the rain kind of it was messy, but Leanne told me what the topic was today, and I was raging. I was raging with it because every time I think I'm healed, Leanne come over here and she just be trying to pull it on out. And
Healing is a journey. There
yeah,
is no end to it because, again, like you just said, something can always trigger you back. But what happens is you don't stay triggered. You
that's
don't
right.
stay in that pain. You don't stay in that hurt. You don't stay in that fear. Yes, I may get transported temporarily back, but now I have things that can help me get
Oh my
through
gosh.
it,
Oh
work
my
through those
god.
feelings, process them, and
Yes.
then let them the fuck go.
Girl, so going through domestic violence, you the person or you think pay attention to your children because your children can help you see your
Mhm.
way to your rainbow too. Because if you don't want your children to succumb, get victimized in any kind of way, use them as your vehicle or your why to push on through and stuff. This is just something you're going through. This isn't who you are. This is something you're going through. When
Exactly.
something gets hard, move on through it. Don't stay in that shit. Keep it moving. And
Yeah.
just, I'm healing my little girl self because she needs to be. And so the woman that I am today is the champion that she needed back then, I think.
Yes.
And
And hopefully that's how your experience moves you forward as you
yes,
work through and
yes,
as you heal, right?
yes,
Is that you become the champion that you needed
yeah,
so
yeah,
that you can help somebody else through that.
yes.
Now, let me give you another couple more statistics because you know that I
Y'all,
like
you know,
to give them.
Leah is your
I have the
statistics woman.
statistics and the tips. I got the
Mhm.
data. But first, let me say this: domestic violence isn't just physical. There's emotional, financial, and even technological abuse.
Ooh.
Okay. Each form is corrosive
Hmm.
and it contributes to the degradation of your sense of self, right? The silent scream of emotional abuse, the invisible chains of financial abuse, and the punch of physical abuse all act to control and manipulate you. And it's essential that you realize that abuse isn't one dimensional, right? It's like this ball, this amalgamation of various oppressive tactics. Don't think they're going to just use one, right? So, according to the CDC, about 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men have been victims of severe physical violence by an intimate partner in their lifetime. And nearly 48.4% of women have experienced at least one psychologically aggressive behavior by an intimate partner. Let that sink in.
Yeah. Let's also throw in that part of you said something about technological,
Technological
right?
abuse.
Okay, so back in the 80s, my mother, the only car, one and only car that we had that was working was a stick. My mother didn't know how to drive a stick. So that was another way we were on this doggone
Yeah,
imposed
you're stuck.
island. Right.
You can't go nowhere without him.
And back then, the houses were clearly a half mile to a mile apart. So even if we screamed, nobody could hear us and stuff.
Yeah.
And y'all, I'm telling you, God will make a way for you to, I mean, what I, we, on the night that it all just came crashing down and stuff, he was on top of my mom. I'm probably about 8 or 9. I went and got a skillet. It was probably one of those doggone. It wasn't cast iron because his ass probably wouldn't have got up. But let's just say it was the
It was heavy enough.
it was heavy enough to get his ass off of her so we could leave. So we're back then they had ditches on the sides of our dirt road. So we're running and dipping into ditches and his ass is driving down the damn road and it's nighttime,
Looking
of
for you.
course. So he couldn't see us and plus he's damn drunk and stuff, right? And so we finally make it a mile away. I want to say it was a mile to my mom's best friend, and we went to middle school with her son. Their names are Betty and Kim Bennett. They are my real life superheroes, and they put us on a Greyhound bus and got us the hell out of there. And
Mm.
y'all, I'm telling you, God will make a way for you. It might not
He
look like
will.
you want it to look or know what it looks like, but he will send help for you. And we just never went back. But he found out where we were. He was calling her every day, and I was like, "Mommy, if
Of
you go back,
course.
I'm staying with Grandma. I can't go back there."
Right. I'm not going back.
And she wasn't going without her children. So
No,
y'all, I'm telling you, y'all can get through this. You
you
can
can't.
get through this. And it goes deeper. But like whenever Leanne says something or bring up a statistic, another damn memory gets
Then
doggone.
pop in your head. Yeah.
Yes, like, oh, I got so much to share. I got so much to share. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
All right.
Proceed,
So,
man. I just,
yes. No.
I'm
So
sorry.
you are listening and or watching the Wake Up Happy Sis show on KCCR Cityscape Radio, where we are here to change the narrative for our people because we're telling our stories our way, right? So are you listening? If not, you need to go to brownstoneworldwide.com and download the Cityscape Radio app to your phone because it's more than just my show on here. Okay. We have a plethora of radio shows, good music. We have business interviews. We got everything you need here. Okay, we're talking relationships, we're talking self-care and wellness with me, we're talking about financial, we're talking about data in your business. Okay, we are talking about your money mindset, relationships with your children, how to parent better. Come on now, where you missing out if you ain't here.
Y'all
You're
come
missing
on.
out if you ain't here. So make sure you're tuning in. We are here and we come to you live every Monday and Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern. So make sure you're here. Okay, back to our program. So, and remember, we talked about there's other forms of abuse. Now, physical abuse is the most overt, obviously, and that's using physical force against you, causing injury, or putting you in harm's way.
Or your children,
Yeah.
unborn children.
Yes, that could be hitting, choking, slapping. Those are more extreme.
Kicking.
But there are people that have been pushed downstairs,
Hmm.
getting choked up, getting slapped in public, right?
Hmm.
That physical abuse usually comes with tangible evidence.
But the bitch ass man, they're very careful not to do so much in public.
Well, a lot of times they're not going to do it in public. They'll pinch. Like maybe they'll
Oh,
pinch or they'll grab your arm very sternly or something to where, they'll grab you around your waist and they're holding you real tight and pinching the side of your body and you
oh, I
wanna
can't
and you
stand
wanna
a bitch
cry
ass
because it hurts.
or a bitch ass bitch, because men get subjected to. But The my
They do,
sister.
but right now I can only talk about women right now. But yes,
Mhm.
men experience abuse too, and we are not here to negate that fact. Everybody who is experiencing abuse needs help.
Yeah.
And hopefully some of our tips, because you know I got the tips too. Now
Mhm.
let's talk a little bit, because there's also emotional abuse, that mind game that they're playing with you. It's all about control, but not through physical intimidation. Instead, remember we talked about control, intimidation, and manipulation. They're usually going to use manipulation,
Hmm.
degradation, humiliation to instill that fear in you and maintain that control and that power over you. And usually that emotional, like I said, they start with, you shouldn't be wearing that. It doesn't look right on you. You know, a respectable woman doesn't, blah, blah, blah. And usually it's a gateway to other forms of abuse. And that can set up a cycle that's so hard to escape, because once they get into your mental, it's a lot easier to control the physical, right? Once they get in your head and they've got you believing the manipulation, believing that warped and false sense of reality, they have control over you. First way you can control a person is to control their mind.
Hmm.
That's the easiest way to get control over somebody.
Yeah.
But then there's also financial abuse, those economic chains.
Hmm.
Financial abuse is that sneaky control of your economic resources. You
Hmm.
get your check and it goes to him. And that control, that financial abuse, affects your ability to leave because you don't have money.
Or so they think. My mom was a whole nurse before
Mhm.
she was married. Now, a carpenter and an LPN living up north in Michigan in a rural area, they could have been making a killing together. Um, but that doggone, y'all, y'all. Okay, I'm not sorry, but y'all gonna have to excuse me because my sister. I tried to get my sister to come on the air with us today, but her excuse is she's painting.
She's
Whatever.
painting.
Yes,
She can
she's.
stop painting for 20 minutes and come
I
on
know
the
she
show.
could have. I told her I was gonna put her on blast today. But I also told her that I was gonna big up my brother because my brother's younger than me, and because he, was sitting there right next to me and watching mom go through this, and the
Mhm.
abuse hit him different than my sister and I. He grew up to become a police officer. My
Mhm.
brother is bigger than life. My baby brother is bigger than life, and he grew up to be the protector that I
Yeah.
think he wishes that we had back then and stuff. And because we couldn't call the police, well, actually, we could have called the police because my stepbrother was a police officer, a state trooper that lived right across
Mm.
the road. But since him and his father were for beefing, it was a whole damn
Right.
dumbass.
It's a lot. There's so many,
Yeah,
but what that shows is that there's so many levels, so many layers and
yeah,
complexities that abuse comes in, right?
yeah.
It's not, and with financial, it's not just about them controlling your access to money.
Mm-hmm.
It might be ruining your credit.
Hmm.
It might be making it hard for you to keep and or find a job,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like what you say, he wouldn't let her work. I
Like,
want you
nigga,
at
we couldn't
home.
afford to live on your
Right.
damn
I
salary
want you
because
at
you was
home.
drinking it on up. Oh my god, just the idiotic brand. It was just dumb as hell.
Yeah.
Just fucking dumb.
But then as black women, the financial abuse is not just at the hands of our mates.
Mm-hmm.
It's systemic racism as well, because we have wage gaps and economic disadvantages that are, unfortunately, you feel like sometimes it's your birthright, and it's not. It's what they put on us, right? So there's so many different forms that abuse takes, that domestic violence takes. Again, violence ain't always just physical. right?
Right. It's diabolical, girl, because it comes in different forms and stuff. But
Yeah.
I,
But how do you notice? What are some warning signs? Right? So let me give you a couple and I'm going to see if you think of some from your experiences, right?
mm-hmm,
In physical abuse, sudden aggressive behaviors, them using intimidation tactics, but it can even start as playful hitting that just for some reason it don't feel playful to you,
mm-hmm,
but they acting like they're playing with you. Don't ever open the door to getting comfortable with a man hitting you.
absolutely not.
It's not a game. I had a boyfriend and we were just play fighting. And I realized in that moment I would never do that again.
Hmm.
Because at some point play fighting turns real. Somebody get hurt, you hit them a little too hard, they get to thinking about something. Don't
Girl,
ever get comfortable with a man hitting you. Men, don't get comfortable with a woman hitting you. Play fighting is fighting. It's an act of aggression. Fuck that. We're not doing that anymore.
absolutely not. My when my son was little, him and his dad would wrestle and stuff. He tried it with me, like, oh no, 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 no. We
We don't do that
don't
here.
ever, never think that it's okay for you to put your hands on your mama or anybody. I'm not playing. I'm not here to play with you like that and
Mm-mm,
stuff.
play with your little friends.
Exactly. Play with your
Not
friends.
what
Don't
look
play,
what they
you
always
know,
just tell us, I ain't one of your little friends.
that's right. You ain't old enough for me to be your friend. You don't need me to be your friend. You need me to be your mother and to teach you that when somebody says stop or we not playing like that, you need to stop in your tracks because it is not fun if it's not fun for both or all
Exactly.
parties. Do
Exactly.
not play with me like, oh,
It's
and my
not.
son is taller than my husband. This dude, my mother said we were going to be raising a giant. Girl, please, this dude wear boats. He wears a size 15.
I mean,
And
that's
so
how it
we
gets. Sometimes that's how it happens. Okay,
we not playing.
let's talk about emotional abuse.
Okay.
Notice if your partner is belittling you,
Hmm.
like I said, making these strong suggestions
Mm.
on how you should look, act, or be, they're gaslighting you, or they
Mm.
start isolating you from your support network. I don't like Sharonda. I don't want you hanging around her, right?
Hmm.
That's some ways you can look out for these things.
Yeah.
Financial abuse. Your partner starts controlling all the money, or they're making big financial decisions without consulting you. They start to control the purse strings. You don't know how much they make, but they know every cent that you make,
Lord have mercy.
right? They pay all the bills. You guys don't have any. There's only one checking account. Now, I'm going to give you this tip. Don't ever put all your money into one account. There's shared account and there's my account. I'm
Mm-mm.
always have my own account that they ain't got their name on it. It ain't got nothing to do with you, Playboy.
Girl, here
It
go
ain't
another
even
one.
gonna be at the same bank.
Here go another damn memory when my okay. So they were married when I was born, so I'm not a bastard. But he was a sperm donor. Do you hear me? I'm not a bastard, but Jose Michael Scott Sr. was a whole damn sperm donor. Cause oh my god. So when he decided to leave my mom, leave us, because he divorced us. It wasn't
Right.
just my mom. He drained the accounts. Oh, yo,
Wow.
we he needs stuff and just went off to go live his life and stuff.
Yeah, and
So
they don't care.
he's
The fact
deceased
that
right
you can
now.
do
But
that,
he was a whole bitch ass man. I said what the fuck I said. A whole bitch ass man.
look, you stand on that fact.
With my whole damn
The fact
3D
that you can
chest.
leave your
Girl,
family,
get out of here.
and it's not even about the divorce, it's the fact that you left us destitute. You had no concern for your children or their well being, right?
That part.
You had no concern. There was no human decency in you. So
That
now,
part.
you
That
know,
part. And I feel how the fuck I feel. And there are people here. in this world that would try to defend him to me. If you want a relationship with me, that's one thing you cannot do, and I will not stand for it. Don't defend him to me.
No,
You
don't
watched him do this. You watched him do this to my mom.
have.
I love you, but you will not do that to me.
Facts.
Feel how
Facts.
you want to feel. You know your brother was a whole damn hoe. I said what I said. You knew he was a hoe.
Now, let's talk a little bit about the scars that are left in the wake of that, right? Because
we got to also talk about that the abuse, and 9 times out of 10, correct me if I'm wrong, the abuser could have been an abused person when they were younger.
oh yes, definitely. They definitely could have,
Mhm.
because violence begat violence,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What I found is that you either go one of two ways. You
Mhm.
become the monster,
Mhm.
or you are so far removed, like say you become the monster, or you become the hero.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's usually, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You turn into that. Abuse, hurt people,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
And if that's all you ever grew up knowing and
Yeah.
seeing, and you never got any help, you never got any
You
healing,
never saw different.
when you get angry, you are probably more prone to lash out.
Yeah.
But you don't get a pass for that. Fix your shit.
Mm-hmm.
Fix
Because
yourself. Heal that trauma so that you learn how to control your anger, control your temper, and control your actions. Control your hands, control your mouth. You know what I mean? Because
sometimes
physical abuse may leave tangible marks that might fade, they go away over time, but emotional scars,
they
those
take longer to
psychological
heal.
scars, baby, those are long lasting. Sometimes those are enough to cause a person to take themselves out.
Yeah.
Because
And
people are suffering PTSD, they
yeah.
got anxiety, they got depression, right?
And if you're also from a situation like that, if you never saw different, then you might fall into marrying somebody that was abusive to your mom,
Because
or
that's love.
because you
Because
don't know
that's
what
what
a
you
healthy
think love
relationship
is.
is like.
And this is what I want parents to think about. Think about the damage you are leaving to your children because they see this.
Mhm.
Your daughters are seeing you hitting on their mother,
Hmm. Oh, that's funny.
right? And mom loves you to death.
Yeah.
Mom loves him to death, but they see that. So what is love? If a
So
man don't hit you, he don't love you. Is that the message we want to send?
the funny thing about what you just said, I don't, I promise today I don't have Tourette's. I said what the fuck I said. Uh, when you can laugh out loud, Leanne, you can. That's what we're here for. But the first day that I took my intended home to meet my sperm donor, he thought that he, you know, had the right to question Arif. He thought that he,
Oh,
yes, yes,
no, he did.
yes, yes, he did.
What
Yes,
you
he did.
what you don't do?
Now Arif
Hmm.
already knew that that guy was never there for, because that's one of the parallelisms of our relationship. Both of our fathers just left. He saw his father, they and his parents were married too, but his grandfather stepped in and said, "Oh no, I'm raising him," and it just basically shooed away his father, and his father took that shit and left. Who the fuck allows the grandfather to step
Mhm.
in to raise only somebody that knows they're not up for the fucking job? So actually, we should thank him. We should
Yeah,
thank Ricardo for
because Reef
walking
turned
away.
out awesome.
Absolutely, because think about it like this: in my little girl self, really wanted my father to be there for me when I was growing up.
Of
But
course.
then I realized my mother and father in the same room together should have never, like, how did I even come to be? Because my mother is way smarter than that. So I'm an anomaly. I am the rose stuck in the,
Hey.
growing out of the doggone concrete. I am. I totally get that part. But
Mm-hmm.
where he overstepped his bounds was to try to question a reef. And my husband has always been more of a man than both of our fathers ever were. Hell, built together. See,
Period.
period on that. That's a whole sentence. So it's real funny. So the abuser doesn't want to, help with the child rearing, or they leave it to the mother, or it's just
Yeah,
is.
but you want to come back in later and act as if you have a place or a position. You are not my father. You are Carl.
Mm-mm.
That's
You
who you
dragging
are.
them as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
Respect is earned,
Cletus.
not given.
Right. Now let's shift a little bit. Let's shift a little bit because we got to get some tips. Okay, got
Yes,
to get
please.
some tips
Let me bring my pressure
because
down.
there are a lot of legal ramifications, ways that you can help yourself. Right.
Yeah,
You need to report every time this is happening. We have to start reporting it so it can be on the record. You need to document.
absolutely. You
Right.
took it out of my mind. Yep.
So first, get yourself to a safe space away from the abuser.
Yeah.
Get yourself away. Get to safety. Seek medical attention, even if you think shit is minor, because what you're doing is you're setting a precedence, you're putting it on the record. And then make sure you document your injuries with photos and with those medical reports. And now everything's online. So it's not like if you come home with the paper he teared up, oh well, because it's
Oh,
online, baby. It's
so the
online.
people are now in the know.
And
And
report that shit
yeah,
because you're going to
yeah.
need those things when you go file for orders of protection, restraining orders, pressing charges, right?
Hmm. My father was light skinned, my mother was dark skinned. She was about your complexion. And when the police did happen to get involved, they were like, well, he has all the bruises, but she doesn't. And it's like dark skinned, more melanated people, please, please, please know that just because you are dark skinned does not mean you don't bruise.
You
Because
bruise, you
that's
can
the
see it.
dumbass shit that's what they
Get
told
them
her.
pictures, get them pictures,
Yep,
and go to a doctor and have the doctors validate what's there,
yep,
right?
yep.
Have the doctors validate
Boy.
and create. And one of the things I think people should also do is talk to your circle,
Yes,
talk to your family.
yes.
I don't care if that man has successfully alienated you from everybody and has you thinking they will never accept you, love you, or take you back because
Mm-hmm.
they're going to wage psychological warfare on you.
Mm-hmm.
Call your family or friends and let them know
Yep,
they're not going to hang up on you. They will listen to you.
yep.
You can start crafting a plan. Just like Sharonda's mama went to the friend, they put them on a bus. People can't help you if they don't know.
See?
We have to speak speak about it. And
Yep.
as friends, affirm their feelings and their experiences. Do not downgrade. Well, you know what? Steve seemed like such a good guy. Are you sure you didn't just, are you? No, maybe the first time he hit you was the worst time.
Mm-hmm. Cause once is way too much.
Make sure that your friend is not turning to substance abuse to cope.
Keep an eye on each other.
Check that all of a sudden you talk to your friend all the time and she's happy. All of a sudden now she seems withdrawn, right? She doesn't have any energy, any luster to her life. Her performance at work is starting to slack. She starts to pull away. That's when you need to lean into your friends. Tell
Mm,
them you will take them to the doctor, to the police station. You can stay at my house because if Jeffrey come over here, I got something for that ass,
mm-hmm. All of that.
right?
All of
We
that.
know it can be debilitating. We know it can be hard for you to get up and to tell people because you feel ashamed or you
Listen,
feel like you did something wrong to set him or her off,
I
right?
wanted to be wanted to be known that what the bitch ass man's motive is to throw up all of these smoke and mirrors and to cut you off at every pass. But I want you to know I'm a child from this stuff. It's just smoke and mirrors. It please know that you were a whole person before the abuser came into your
That's
life.
right.
Know that you have a whole gang of people here to ride for you, with you, and just because of you. Let them know something. Let them know send some smoke signals, do some doggone Morse code, some kind of something to let somebody know that you are in an
That's
unsafe
it.
situation.
Look, people think that they're never going to take me back because they told me that they told me they didn't like him, that I can't go to them now. Yes, the hell you
Yes,
can.
you can. Yes, you can.
Yes, you can. They will be there for you. And if, let's say, for some reason they aren't, call somebody else, go to somebody else, keep going until you get somebody who listens, who pays attention,
Absolutely.
and who is there to help you.
Absolutely.
There is
Absolutely.
somebody who will listen, right?
I wish I was there for my mom. As strong as I am right now, I wish that I was there for her to get in her ear like that nigga ain't no good,
That
mom.
you were a kid.
I know, but I'm
And
saying
even if
myself
you got
now.
in her ear, that doesn't mean that she would have listened,
You're
right?
right. You're right.
Because sometimes we can't see, oh, you just don't know Johnny like I know him, right? They see the wolf, you see the sheep. That he put the sheep's
Dressing up
outfit on, right?
enough
They see the wolf. And sometimes we can't see it,
because we're
right?
not as good of a judge a character as they are, and so fast
It's not that you're
fast
not a
forward
good judge of character, it's that he is showing you one
one
thing.
face.
Some people can see it because he's only showing you the good. And while you're over there with all the doughy, lovey eyes,
Girl,
the other
girl,
people can see from a, a more objective standpoint.
girl. I grew up, and now I'm 19 and I'm in the army. 20 somewhere between 19 and 21 years old, and I was talking to this dude that was my sister's age. My sister is 7 years older than me, so he was her age. Girl, I was in it with this damn dude a whole damn 8 9 months. My period
Hmm.
never came. I went to the doctor and I was not pregnant. I really wanted to be, but the Lord's like, no, no, no.
He said,
You
no,
got
no, no, not today.
not with that one. You no, ma'am. You are
Not
not.
today. Not today, ma'am. What
But
ain't what's not
I
gonna
worried,
happen is that.
girl. I worried a whole damn blind bald spot in my head, worried about that damn nigga. But my sister and my mother saw him for who he was. I was like, no, but I loved him. I,
Right. That
what,
girl, that's
what
always
does
what I
the
love
spirit need to
him.
say about him? Oh, help me, mercy.
Yeah, but that's how it happens though. You
Yes.
get wrapped up in that.
Ah.
You get wrapped up in that person, in the beautiful flowers and the candy, and they treat you like a princess, and you don't see that he does that, but then he said some little thing.
Oh my gosh.
He starts saying some little things. He grabbed you up one time, then apologized profusely,
Oh my God.
right?
For all of the circles he ran around me when I was that age, 5 6 years later, he came to me. He found me at Fort Hood to come and tell me, I'm so sorry.
poor. What are you talking about? It's like, well, now his daughter is now 16, 17, falling for a nigga just like his
Mm-hmm.
ass. And so
Mm-hmm.
now he's on the receiving end and he is
Oh
held.
yeah, and then you want to kill that nigga, but you were him. You were
That
him.
part.
You
Let's talk.
were him.
Oh, so we selectively remembering shit, but you found your ass to me to apologize profusely, but you were so prideful you couldn't do the shit when we was, when we
Yeah,
were
but
in the
at least he
thick of
came back and did, right? I give people grace in that space once they do, because hopefully at some point in your life
because it's
you
not real
realize
until they
you ain't
see it
shit.
happen to them.
Right, but you realize you ain't shit. And
You
but
feel your
sometimes it don't
precious
happen
baby
until they get
girl.
a child. And what did they say? The sins of the father will be put onto the children sometimes.
Ooh. Ooh.
Karma
I
doesn't
felt
always
this
come
thing.
back in your
Child.
generation. Sometimes karma comes back in your children. Nobody wishes that on anybody, but sometimes it does. That's the reality. Now, in
Yeah.
our last few minutes, we got 5 minutes before we got to wrap up.
Ah.
I
Look,
know
I didn't cry. Look, I didn't
you
cry.
did not at all. I'm very proud of you. There's your tears, your eyes are dry right now. But I want to talk about the financial aspects, right? I want to give you some resource, some tips, and let's talk about escape plans and solutions. Ladies, always have your own account. Fellas, always have your own account. I don't care if your spouse makes 4 times what you make, right? Because if you make 4 times what I make, I should not be having to put half of my money into the pot.
Mm.
If I make 4 times what my husband makes, I would never require him to put half of his money in. You paid this bill, I got the rest because we're a team. But I'm going to always have my own money ducked off to the side. You need to have that emergency fund, right? You always got to have that. And
Mm.
sometimes your credit score is helping you, is keeping you hostage. Work on that shit while you working on. You can make a plan. You may not be able to get out today and just walk away today, but I want you to put a plan together because there are so many different helplines and online platforms now, safe houses that are specifically for abuse victims,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You can check out the National Domestic Violence Hotline to get resources. Usually, there's legal aid organizations that will offer pro bono legal services to abuse victims, right?
Mm-hmm. So many
Counseling and
resources.
therapy. Make sure that when you get out, that you get help so that you get out here too.
Absolutely.
Get out physically, get out mentally and emotionally too, because that's how they come back. I'm a changed man now. But I don't give a shit. I'm happy for you that you're changed. So am I.
Yeah.
I'm changed too,
Yeah.
right? Start getting into and looking into grassroots organizations that can help you get out safely. They
Yes.
can help you start. They can help you start creating financial plans so you can learn how to put $50 away every paycheck. Blah blah blah. Right? $100 every paycheck. You have to have
Oh,
resources and talk to your friends. Like I said, do not feel shame and guilt, or if you do, you have to look past that and you need to reach out to your family, your friends that you've been isolated from. Reach out to them. I'm
yeah.
telling you, they will be there for
She
you.
telling the truth. My mother again was a trained nurse. It took her a couple when we got back to Detroit. She got on public assistance for a hot second. When I say a hot second, because she needed to feed us. We were staying with
Yeah,
family, but my mama was no slouch. She got on public assistance, food stamps, or whatever it was. When she got back into her field, she got right back off of that doggone thing. So don't feel shame or prideful for needing the help of assistance, because that's what it's for.
that's what it's for.
You're
These
not
social
it's
organizations are
stepping
here to help you step
yeah,
up.
yes,
If you need to go and get food stamps and get Section 8 housing and get those things, that's what the programs are here for. Oh, I'm so glad you said that. The programs are here to help us. We have to put our pride to the side
yeah. But it's just a
because
stepping
it's a
stone,
step
y'all,
up.
not a
Nobody's
way of
telling you to
life.
stay there, right? Do not make it a way of life. Fight your hardest to get out of, go back to school,
Yep.
get a better job, right?
Hmm.
So that you're setting yourself and your children up for better.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
woo, we are. Let me do my little closeout, girl. It's 11 o'clock already. I ain't did no
Woo!
one commercial. We just been
Woo!
talking. I ain't even
Sorry,
I ain't
Paulette.
even hit you, but I'm gonna hit y'all. Y'all gonna get this commercial before I leave though.
Absolutely.
Y'all gonna get this commercial though, because I want y'all to get it. So just listen in, and then we'll wrap up. Hey sis, ever feel like you're on the verge of a meltdown? Are you overwhelmed from juggling your job, your family, and trying to fit in me time, but seriously dropping the ball on that last one? Guess what? You're not alone. Introducing the Burnout Recovery Kit. It's your 14-day lifeline to go from burnt out to lit up. Get ready to reclaim your joy, energy, and that I got this attitude. Grab your free ebook, a purpose-driven workbook, daily email prompts, as well as SMS boosters and Q&A sessions. It's like a spa day for your soul, and guess what? It's totally free. Don't waste another minute feeling drained. Go to officialburnoutrecoverykit.com right now and kickstart your transformation. The Burnout Recovery Kit, because you deserve to be at the top of your own to-do list. Don't just cope, thrive, sis. Y'all better head on over to visualburnoutrecoverykit.com. Get that burnout recovery kit. Let's get some healing started for
Yes.
each of us. So we've come to the end of our show. We've learned a lot. The one thing I want to leave you with out of all of this, and then we'll do our little wrap up, is that you are not the abuse.
Oh, you took that out of my mind. You're
You are
not.
not the abuse. You did not deserve it. And
Nope.
as a child, it was never your fault. If your daddy left, if your mama left, whatever, it was not you. Stop internalizing and go get help so that you can learn how to let that guilt, shame, and all that come off of your heart, off of your spirit, and out of your existence.
I was
You are
excellent
not the sum total of that, sis. Or
last.
sir.
Mhm. I got over that real damn quick. So what she's saying is true, y'all. Get the help that you need, and know that, one, as a kid, there's nothing you could have done to make daddy stay. Daddy wasn't supposed to stay. Daddy was supposed to come and drop off them seeds so you could be here and leave. They had one job. I said what the fuck I
You
said.
said,
Okay,
yeah,
ma'am.
some,
Yes,
but that doesn't make you less than.
not at
Your
all.
experiences don't make you less than, and your
No,
experiences are not the sum total of who you are. They are
no,
just that, experiences, finite things that have happened along your timeline. But you have so much more to live and to give to this
absolutely.
world. We cannot let those traumas, those traumatic experiences become who we are. They
Yeah,
do not define us. You too can get past this. We are here to be a beacon and a light at the end of that tunnel to let you know we got you, sis. We got you, bruh.
absolutely. Let
We
my
are that handout.
be your testimony. You can see your way out of this shit. You're
That's
just
right.
passing through. This is not where you live.
Facts. Now, Sharonda, tell the people how they can contact you.
Well, let's go ahead and get those books together because tax time is coming. Come and get at me at bookkeepingforlife.com. Have a good day.
All right. And if you love the Wake Up Happy Sis show, you can join our free community on Facebook. Just look up Wake Up Happy Sis, give the page a like, join the group. And if you want to ever just know what we got going on, head on over to wakeuphappysis.com. Get on our mailing list so you can find out about the new shows, about the new events that I've got going on. We are here to help you. Let us do that, sis. And with that, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And we will see you on Thursday. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of Wake Up Happy Sis on KCCR The Brownstone. Make sure you show up